Welcome to the Collaboration Over Competition podcast. This is season 1, episode 8, and we got a very special guest with us today. We have fellow entrepreneur, business owner, Bryce Lob. How are you doing today, my man?
I'm good. Weather's slowly cooling down outside.
Yes, sir.
Still
yes, sir.
a hot 85, but
yes,
I'm good.
Hey, man, glad to hear you. I appreciate you taking the time, man, just to interview with us today. I know you're busy, man. So, like I said, I appreciate you taking the time to sit with us today and just letting us get to know a little more about you. Now, for our listeners, if you guys aren't aware, Bryce Lob, is the owner of the Una Vida. Is that how you say it? Una?
Yeah.
I've been asking myself, how do you say it? So Una Vida Tequila,
yeah.
And I also seen El Trigo. Is that
El Trago?
El Trago?
Yeah. So Una Vida, my business partner and I started 2016, launched May of 2018.
Okay.
Una Vida means one life.
Okay.
We both quit our jobs and started this from scratch.
Amen.
And then El Trago's probably been about a year now. El Trago means the drink.
Okay.
And so that's another brand that we started.
That's awesome.
So we got some more coming on the horizon.
Don't give us too much. We're gonna get into all that. But no, this is my first time sitting down meeting with you. So man, I just want to get to know you a little more, get some background on you, then we'll kind of dive into some entrepreneurial questions. So can you just tell us a little bit about your upbringing and where you're from?
Yeah, so I'm from Wichita, Kansas.
Okay.
I went to school at Independent there at Douglas and Rock my whole life.
Okay.
My wife actually transferred there when she was a junior, so her and I are high school sweethearts.
Awesome.
Both graduated from there, and she is now back there as a first grade teacher.
Awesome.
So she works there. After I graduated, I went and played a year at Coffeyville, Red Ravens football.
Okay.
That's where I kind of, that first year though, I realized I was kind of done with football.
Yeah.
It's no longer fun. I wasn't playing with the group of guys that I had played with my entire independent career.
Yeah.
So I just didn't enjoy it as much anymore. Transferred to K-State and graduated there, dual major in marketing and entrepreneurship, as well as my wife graduated from there too. So her and I went to college together. When I was a senior, had the opportunity. A group of guys kind of came to me that wanted to start a Bloody Mary company. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I had done some internships with some finance companies, had some job offers, and that essence wasn't really exciting for me. I'm not a suit and tie guy.
Yeah.
There were some exciting parts of it, but just cold calling all day was not that much fun in a cubicle. So I jumped on that, moved to Denver right after we got married. We got in our car and moved to Denver and didn't really have a plan. So started that out of Denver with a couple other guys, where I met my business partner, who was right out of college, and he was the first employee of a tequila startup company.
Okay.
Him and I met at a party. His fiance and my wife were teachers, and they had a teacher get together, and we met in the kitchen. Like, he had a bottle of tequila, I had a bottle of Bloody Mary mix, and I was like, oh shit, we're in the same industry.
Yeah.
And so him and I hit it off, and we just started, being the same age, we started selling around town, doing Bloody Marias. We did taco festivals, we did all sorts of tastings at liquor stores.
That's awesome.
I became fascinated with tequila. Started traveling down to Mexico and just kind of learning ins and outs of tequila. And so fast forward to, again, about 2016, 2017, we tried to buy the brand that he worked for. Guy didn't want to sell it, so he quit. I quit. And we started Una Vida from scratch.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm going to get back on a couple things you spoke on. So you said you played football. What position did you play? Because I played football as well.
Middle linebacker and
same
long
here.
snapper.
Okay. So linebacker game. You know what's up.
Yep.
Okay. And another thing, you said you got your degree in marketing and entrepreneurship.
Yep.
I didn't know there was degrees in entrepreneurship.
Yeah, so I didn't either.
Okay.
I got my degree in marketing, and I think it was about my junior year. My advisor at school, they had opened an entrepreneurship degree, and pretty much told me, hey, you're only 3 credits away or whatever, 3 classes if you want to dual major and add that as a degree.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. So I added those 3 classes, and I started taking a couple entrepreneurship classes, and then I ended up dual majoring and a minor in economics.
That's awesome. So for all the kids out there, you can go to college and get a degree in entrepreneurship. A lot of times they talk about how you don't need college anymore. But can you at least talk about how a marketing degree in entrepreneurship kind of helped you or gave you the skills you needed to be an entrepreneur?
Yeah.
If it did.
Yeah, I mean, I'll kind of go both sides. I won't trade my time at K-State for anything. I absolutely loved it. I enjoyed it. I have some of my best friends. Again, my wife went there as well. can you go without it? 100%.
Facts.
I was blessed that my teachers, at least for my entrepreneurship, were true entrepreneurs, specifically for the most part in Manhattan, who had built great companies, GTM Sportswear, just all of these people that I was learning from. So it wasn't just some guy who's, trying to teach. They did teach small business finance. Those kind of things were still helpful. And then obviously marketing. I mean, we have a very small team. So, for the first 3 years, pretty much, it was just me and my business partner, and you're looking at the marketing team. You wear every hat when you're an entrepreneur to start. If you want to do social media and you want to do content and you want to, I self-taught in Adobe. So I designed the label, awesome. And my business partner and I, spent endless hours at bars and liquor stores developing how we wanted the package to look, as well as El Trago and, moving forward. So there are definitely things I learned, but reality is I've learned more just day to day out in life.
I kind of have a similar story because, like I said, I have my degree in criminal justice, and right out of college, I wanted to become a federal parole officer or probation officer, and man, right out of college, I interviewed for about 6 different jobs. Man, made it to the second interview on every job, never got a call back. So that's what kind of led me to entrepreneurship myself. Like even though I'm not putting my degree to use, I am still in the same field. So I kind of had that same feeling as well. Like, man, this degree ain't worth it. But although I wouldn't trade that experience for anything, I still feel like as I get older, I feel like that time in college, some things that I learned, they kind of sneak up on me. Like, okay, it paid off. It's working out. But at least we have both experiences. And I feel like that only gives us an up on the competition. What does Una Vida and El Trago mean? You mentioned it before, but can you just mention it one more time, just the meaning and behind the names of your tequila company?
Yeah, Una Vida means one life. Okay. And so our import
in
company.
Spanish?
Yeah.
Okay.
So our import company is One Life Spirits.
Okay.
And that is our holding company that all of our spirits will be underneath. For us, again, we quit our jobs and started Una Vida from scratch. That is... It's just living out your one life.
I love it.
And so that's kind of the motto we go for. And then El Trago means the drink.
Okay.
And so that is just that is what you're ordering is the drink that people are ordering. And so we've got 2 products under that umbrella as well.
That's awesome. So I just learned a new Spanish word today, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. So what is the difference between the 2 liquors? They're both tequilas, right?
Yeah. So we do a different agave plant. So tequila has to be tequila has to be made from Blue Weber. We're 100% agave, which means we're 100% made from that Blue Weber plant.
Okay.
For Una Vida. El Trago is actually an agave spirit. Is pretty unique what we're doing, but we're taking 100% espadine. Espadine is the mother plant.
Okay.
So it's a different agave plant than Blue Weber.
Okay.
And we're using that plant 100% agave to make El Trago. So they taste completely different.
Okay.
They're completely different products, and so that's why, again, price points are different, flavors different, everything like that. It's just something unique that we were able to put out into the market.
Definitely have to try that El Trago to get the difference in taste and for comparison.
Yeah.
Now, you spoke on it a little bit already, but can you kind of just educate us on the liquor making process and where your liquor is made?
Yeah, so tequila has to be made in Mexico.
Okay, so it can't be made in the USA at all?
No.
I was not aware of that.
Yeah,
okay.
Mexico has the rights to the word tequila.
Wow.
Yeah, and so there are people who do it up here. It's called, typically they'll label it as an agave spirit. There's someone out of Kansas City that does it. Though I believe this is how they do it. They get their juice from Mexico and then they distill it there in Kansas City, and then they can label it as an agave spirit. So the majority of tequila comes from the state of Jalisco, and then there's 5 surrounding municipalities that can make tequila as well. So our distillery, we have 2 different distilleries, one for Una Vida, one for El Trago because of the different agave. So our distillery for Una Vida is in San Juanito, which is about 45 minutes outside of the town of Tequila. There is a real town of tequila.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then El Trago is actually made in the town of Tequila. And so both of our distilleries are in Jalisco. So we fly into Guadalajara. It's not that. It's in the middle of Mexico. Best way I can describe it is if you know where Puerto Vallarta is, we're going 3 hours inland. We're not near the ocean. We're in the middle.
Yeah. I was going to say, I seen on your Instagram story recently that you were in Mexico, showing a little behind the scenes. And man, that was awesome. Just seeing the the view not only in Mexico but just upfront how the process is made. I think that's something you definitely should like show more of the company. That's what intrigues me. Just seeing the behind the scenes, like you said, it's made in Mexico. That shows the authenticity, of the liquor and the drink. So I think that really says a lot about the company. I definitely think y'all should show a lot more of that. Can you tell us a little bit about the liquor business? How is the liquor business? Is it a tough business compared to other industries?
I mean, I haven't been in many other industries outside of the liquor business, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of competition. Obviously, a lot of places to sell alcohol. If you're choosing to go bar and restaurant route, if you're choosing to go liquor store route. So yeah, I mean, there's only 3 of us right now, and we're sold Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas. So it's a lot of ground to cover. Hence why I travel a lot.
Yes.
And so it's a tough industry, but I mean, it's relationship built. And for us, it's, especially here in the Midwest, being that we're Missouri and Kansas owned, it's very loyal people. We've just kind of found throughout our time that there's a lot of false promises and a lot of brands that, come to the Midwest and they meet with you, they promise you all of this, just please bring me in, and then you never see them again. And then, so many of these managers or liquor store, all these people we deal with have been burnt so many times that to them at first, you're just going to be another person to burn them. So it's just consistently showing up and doing what you promised and going above and beyond and finding ways to provide value, because there's thousands of tequila brands. And again, it's very versatile too. There are thousands of vodka brands. There are all sorts of things people can use in their cocktails and whatnot. So you just got to find value or provide value to your customers. And then for us, it's outside of that, it's getting out into the community, doing things that way. So we're very on-premise heavy. We're very bar and restaurant heavy. So it's how do we give back to our bartenders and our servers and everything like that, who constantly recommend our product over a different product. We say they're our best salespeople, and so we're trying to find ways every time we're meeting with these accounts that again, we can grow closer to these industry people and build these relationships, not just from the owners but the managers, the bartenders, the servers, the cooks in the back, and
down to the supplier, huh? How long has this company been around?
So we've been sold in the U.S. for a little over 4.5 years.
Okay, so would you still say you guys are a new company?
Yeah.
With me, I'm a new company as well. We've been in it for 4 years, but sometimes to compete with bigger companies and bigger marketing budgets, I know one thing that I do with my business, I'm in the community. I'm hands-on, touching with the people. So I like that you said that, because being a small company and competing with the larger companies with bigger marketing budgets, going to those events, I see you doing a lot of drink service, and whether it be a grocery store or a liquor store, that's important. Touching the people, getting in touch with your customers, letting them see and feel the brand. I think that's a good way to connect.
And again, it's a lot of these big brands think, and for the longest time it's worked, that they can just throw millions of dollars at just, I want billboards along Kellogg, all of this, and that's going to do it. And it'll work to an extent, but then they hire a bunch of people. It's rare that, it's fun for me, and I noticed for my business partner too, that a lot of times when we do tastings, people are shocked to see the owner out there doing it. It's fun for me. I enjoy. No one can talk about my brand better than I can. And so I enjoy getting out there and doing it. And again, I can't forget about the people who have given us and helped our brand grow, because we couldn't have done it without all of these. I mean, we're 90+% bars and restaurants across all of our markets.
Yes, it'll definitely pay off in the long run. So I definitely like that you're hands on. I think one of the best ways to be. So that's awesome. For the small business owners out there, guerrilla marketing. If you don't have the money to compete with the dollar ads, guerrilla marketing. There's always ways you can market your company for free. So there's no excuses. So whether big or small, there's always ways you can be out there marketing. Trying to get your company seen in front of more faces. So I definitely like that. I was want to ask, where can people find Una Vida and El Trago? Are you guys, and my second question, are you guys looking for any brand ambassadors?
Yeah, so currently Una Vida is sold Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas.
Okay.
El Trago is Missouri, Kansas, and Texas.
Okay.
Both you can look on the website. I mean, there's a lot of retailers and a lot of bars and restaurants that you can find us at, so it just kind of depends. Here in Wichita, say one retailer and someone's on the west side and they don't go to the east side, and so just look on our website, unavitatequila.com.
There you go.
Or onelifespirits.com. We talk about both of them. We're working towards what that brand ambassadorship looks like. We're not trying to just do one of those typical, here's some info, go talk about us. I don't know. We're still, my business partner and I have been toying with some stuff in the background of what, again, that looks like, because we've been asked a lot. But we want to make sure it's legit, and again, just doesn't discredit our company by allowing a bunch of people to just throw us in their bio. And we want to be hands-on.
Facts.
And so, yeah.
Yeah, I like that. And I asked that question just, I want to let people know, how can we help? How can we support? How can we make this thing get bigger? But I'm not sure if you're familiar with the rapper Rick Ross. Or do you watch his page on Instagram?
Oh, yeah. My business partner's a diehard Rick Ross fan.
See, that's why I asked that question, because if you watch Rick Ross on Instagram, and the brands and liquors, spirits he supports, I feel like no one does collaboration over competition in a marketing way he does it. So, when I see how he does it, it makes me think like, man, how can I support? How can I help another, business owner like that help grow their brand? I know one thing Rick Ross talked about that helped him inspire, just want to help grow other liquor companies that, being a business owner and a serial entrepreneur, you can't do everything. So you will have to collaborate on people. So, I may not have the resources or the knowledge to start a tequila company, but if I know someone, I can collaborate with them and help them grow their brand, just as if it was mine. Just like I said, that's kind of the basis of collaboration over competition, just showing how far we can take things. We come together rather than competing. So I asked that question just because, I watch his story a lot, and I like how he markets the liquor companies that he represents. And once you guys get to that point, like I said, I would definitely be interested in something like that, just to help get the word out. And
that's just something, we've, like you talked on guerrilla marketing, like we deal with it almost every day. Someone reaches out, hey, we want to talk about Una Vida, we've got X amount of followers, and first thing I do is look, do you even follow us?
Facts.
No.
Facts.
And if it doesn't fit, it doesn't make sense. Like, we haven't paid for any influencer marketing. We've had some high end, people with 15, 20 million followers post our stuff, but that's just genuinely because we've developed a good friendship, and they like our tequila, and that's more the route we're as of right now we're trying to go. Like, if you're a good person, you want to help promote our stuff, let's have fun together and drink tequila, whatever that looks like. But we get people all the time that reach out, and they're looking for paid opportunities for them to showcase Una Vida, and it's just not.
Yeah, and one thing that's what Rick Ross talks about a lot is like, when you want to collaborate with somebody, or say like somebody of your stature or his stature, you want to collaborate, with business. When they click on your page, you better at least be following, liking a picture. You got to show love to get love first.
It's got to be. It's got to be genuine. If it's all fake and people are going to call you out that you're paying for this,
trying to get for clout and all that. Yeah. And see, that's even how this interview came about. I liked what I saw. I support. I liked, followed all the pages that I have, and I reached out to you guys asking if we could be a sponsor to help get the word out, and we've done that, and that's, like I said, that's how we got this interview today. So I thought it was only fitting that we get the owner of the sponsor of our podcast on the show. So like I said, I definitely appreciate you guys just giving us the opportunity to collaborate. And like I said, a lot of times the collaboration, people are looking for money. But it's really just about the connection.
Yeah.
Networking.
I get it to an extent. There are things we do pay for, but there's a lot of value in return. Oh, yes. We're the official tequila Power and Light in Kansas City. We're also the official tequila Ballpark Village in St. Louis. There's a lot of value in return, in essence of there's 7 bars in there that are ordering cases upon cases every single week of tequila. There's certain things you're not going to get away from paying that kind of stuff.
Facts.
And so if there's a good give and take, if someone's consistently posting about us or something, that's a different story. But again, we've just dealt with some influencers who end up buying a bottle of Una Vida and posting it because they like it.
And see, I don't think people on the other side, on the other side of being a business owner, people who are reaching out ask for that. I don't think, especially when you actually be paid, I don't really think people know, if you're going to actually be paid, you really got to produce sales. There has to be, you have to have leverage.
Yeah.
Sometimes even though you have the following, the social media, the numbers, just because you have the numbers don't mean that it's going to translate to sales.
We've learned that there's got to be a level of engagement with you and your followers. We've had some people that have posted that have had 15 million followers, and we've gotten 0 followers from it.
I've seen that.
And then we've had people that have posted us that have 10,000, and we get 150 followers. And then you kind of go look at their posts, you look at their comments. Are they actually engaging with the people that follow them, or is this just a fan page of some sort?
Facts.
And so you just kind of learn as you go.
To move on to the next question, what are your thoughts on the debate about marijuana versus liquor? Marijuana is becoming a lot more legal now, so a lot of people have the talk of have that debate. Do you have any thoughts on that?
I support both.
There we go.
I mean, without going into it too much, there's obviously a lot of research about medical marijuana and what it can do. I'm someone that it wasn't available when I was a kid, but I was epileptic as a child. And I know they put me on a lot of prescription drugs that, dealt with stuff mentally, and help neurologically, that now, they can look at, let's just put a patch on a kid. This kid's not going to get high, but it's going to help, reduce the amount of seizures he has. I know it can help with cancer patients and pain, everything like that, again, without diving into it too much, there's a lot of research that I support it. I support both sides. Yes, alcohol has, if you overdo it, can be dangerous.
Celebrate responsibly, y'all.
Yes.
Okay. Can you speak on any misconceptions that might come with being a business owner?
It's all fun and games. I mean,
man,
people look at obviously social media is just a highlight reel to begin with, but
Facts.
People assume, wow, I want your job.
Yes.
That's got to be so much fun. All you do is go to bars and restaurants and drink. And I'm like, well, there's more to that. My business partner and I didn't take a paycheck for the first 3 years.
Yes.
And it was consistently, I moved out, sold up my house in Denver and moved in with my in-laws and lived in my wife's childhood bedroom for a few years. And it was constantly putting money back into the company of, hey, we can't keep going at this growth rate with the level of inventory we have. And, finding opportunities to save on glass and everything if we buy in bulk, and you gotta have money to do that kind of stuff. So everyone, again, I get it all the time that, oh, your job looks like so much fun.
Yes.
That's just what I'm showing you.
Facts.
There are plenty of times I'm sitting at my computer stressed and dealing with that kind of stuff. So it's not all glitz and glamour that people think it is.
Yes, and I can see how people, especially working in the industry, the industry business people or the liquor business people can have that thought, just thinking it's all fun and games.
They say, oh, I see Una Vida everywhere. You're absolutely killing it. I'm like, yeah, we're growing.
Man.
But, costs also increase,
Yes. I get the same thing, man. I was going to say too, in my entrepreneurial journey, starting out, it was frustrating for me because I have a degree, so I could be somewhere putting my degree to use, making more. So I'm making that sacrifice knowing I could be making more somewhere else because that in the long run, the route that you're going can pay off. So people don't talk about that entrepreneurial grind.
And it's also important that you enjoy what you do. Again, I got offered a job out of college making more than I still do now, working for a finance company that I know I would have absolutely hated. But the job was there, and I did not care to go work for someone else and do that and listen. I have my own goals and I enjoy what I do.
Yes.
Are there days that I'm down or I don't and feel like quitting? Absolutely.
Yes.
But it just just keep grinding.
Amen, amen. I love that. Do you have any advice for entrepreneurs or business owners out there?
I mean, just do the work. One of our investors, Andy's very big about, making a critical list each day, your top 5 things that need to get done. I constantly say there's not a skill that I have that is setting me above everyone else. And I know my business partner will say the same thing. There's nothing that we're doing that no one else can't do.
Yeah.
It's just more we've eaten more shit than anyone else, and we continue to do it. Most people will quit. And so for me, it's, again, I make a list every day of here are these top 5 things that, I need to get done to win this day. And I can't focus on what's going to happen in 6 months, but I know if I continually do this day after day after day, we will continue to see the growth that we want. So again, just get done what needs to be done. I mean,
and
don't quit.
The rapper Nipsey Hussle spoke on this. He has a brand called Marathon, and he talked about, the only distinguishing factor that separates me and you is that I didn't quit. You see, so life is a marathon, business is a marathon, and that may be the only distinguishing factor that separates you from others, that you didn't quit. So keep going, stay strong, and I definitely like that. As we get towards the end of the interview, I have a couple more questions for you. So what is your favorite productivity hack? I know you said you left the gym earlier, but do you have any productivity hacks for business owners out there?
I mean, I don't know if I necessarily have a hack other than, I get into a routine, and it's very difficult to stay in this routine when I travel so much. But at least for when I'm here, and I try and do it when I travel, I'm up by 5. My wife, we have a home gym, so she uses the gym while I sit, drink coffee, read, and hang out with my dogs. So that's kind of my time while she works out, and then we switch. Awesome. And so I have to get my workout in first thing in the morning, because I don't know if I'm going to be drinking tequila by 11 a.m. And it's not going to happen later in the day if that happens. And so again, for me, it's just a routine thing. Playing college football, and I wrestled most of my life and played football my whole life. It's just, I'm used to it. It's that routine. I got to get up early, get a workout in, gets my mind right, read. I can really only read like business books. I can't do storybooks or anything.
If it doesn't help me, or
if it doesn't motivate me in some way, I can't do it. I don't care about these murder mysteries. So I find a new book and, at least try and knock out a chapter or something first thing in the morning. And that's just kind of a routine for me.
That's awesome. So his advice, guys, just create a schedule for yourself. I know I always say, like, being an entrepreneur, it's kind of like college, man. You got a list of things to do, but no one's organizing it for you. You got to do it yourself. You don't have to show up, but it's the best that you do. So organize. The 5 P's: proper preparation prevents poor performance. So, be organized, and plan for greatness. You got to plan for it. So, what is your favorite part of being a business owner?
I enjoy what I do. I enjoy.
Is it the drinking, man? Is it the liquor?
No, it gets old from time to time. There are plenty of times where I'm like, I can't touch tequila today. I drank too much over the weekend. It's more the relationship. They're really good people. I've made some of my best friends, and it's fun for me to go out to almost every bar and know someone in that bar when I walk in. Across multiple states. It's fun. And it's just, I enjoy the people.
I feel like liquor is the ultimate networking tool. Like you said, you're in bars, restaurants. That's where people go, to relief, man, talk, just, escape. So I feel like there's no other better way to connect and meet people than, obviously
and that's, we've, since again, 2015, probably, that's where we started. My business partner and I were sitting at a Twin Peaks in Centennial, Colorado, and that we didn't have offices, and that was where we started talking about all of this and what our game plan was, and kept showing up and building relationships with that account and everything like that. That it's just continued to almost all of our best ideas and whatnot happen when we're sitting at a bar.
There you go.
And not always are we drinking, but again, we're having a good time with the bartenders, the waiters, the waitresses.
Yes, sir.
And so for me, it's just, the people.
That's awesome. These last couple questions here. So this is the Collaboration Over Competition podcast. So I want to get your thoughts on what does collaboration over competition represent to you?
That's a tough one.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on collaboration over competition?
I mean,
good or bad?
I'm going to go with the good. I mean, we're collaborating over competing with each other. There are ways for us all to benefit together.
Yes.
If we can find ways to unite and work together. There are other tequila brands I've worked with too. There are other.
Yes.
We were just down in Texas a couple weeks ago talking with some business owners of some tequila brands at this big package show we did, and we're just shooting ideas, what works for you, what doesn't work, everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
I've also dealt with other brands that is purely, they've looked at it as a pure competition and never even met the people. So it is. There are ways for us all to work together. There's plenty. We constantly say this is multi-billion-dollar industry. There's plenty of room for all of our products on the back bar.
Nice.
But there's always opportunity for all of us in different industries to collaborate and help each other out, rather than competing with each other.
Hey man, I like that. Now for this last question, I seen you posted this. I seen the Instagram post you made today. And essentially, the post talked about, the social contract we have together living in the community. So, when we talk about collaboration over competition, that made me think of that because, being in the community, we're all in collaboration together. But it's not talked about a lot about the unknown social contract that we have living in the community together. So I wonder if you can just speak on that and the accountability that comes with the social contract of just being a human in a society together.
Yeah, in today's climate, people want to portray that we all hate each other, and it's not true.
Yes.
And if you get on, I'm trying to do a better job of it because I'm pretty bad about sitting on Instagram and reading and looking at stuff.
We all are.
Yeah, if you get off social media, you turn off the TV, and you actually just get out in the community and talk to people and hang out with people, you realize that we're a lot more alike. We all want the same things. We want our economy to do well here. We want our streets clean, everything like that. And I live in a neighborhood that, my wife and I try and set an example. And, if we're walking around with our dogs, we're picking up trash while we're doing it.
I love it.
And just, helping each other out. Again, it's just kind of, you have an obligation to your neighbors and to your people in your community to take care of yourself, to take care of the people around you, and to just be a decent person.
I like that answer. Like I said, it's not talked about enough, the social contract that we all have together living in community together. So, I always say taking care of yourself can help you be the best for not only your family, your community. And, once you do that, man, to me, that's the epitome of collaboration over competition. So I like that. When I seen that post, it just made me think. So accountability, y'all. We all have a social contract with each other. We live in the same community. We live in the same state. We live in the same country. We all, want a safe community. We all want to, raise a family, in a nice country. That's the essential of the United States, the land of the free, the land of opportunity. So everyone has to do their part, and I think everyone should be aware that they do have a part to hold, and that's holding yourself accountable first. And then, like I said, that will allow you to be the best not only to your family, but your community and others around you. So I definitely like that. And I'm gonna ask a couple more questions before we get out of here. Now, I know you talked about books. Do you have any books that you would recommend for entrepreneurs?
Oh, I got a lot of books. I struggle with who the authors are every time, but Profit First is one of my favorite books.
What's that book about?
So it's about essentially creating a digital envelope system, going old school in regards to your finances, and making sure. So I think, my business partner and I have in one of our banks 7 different checking accounts, and it is essentially making sure money's put to where it needs to be. He talks about paying yourself first, which is not common, but it is a very good book on finance. Quench Your Thirst by Jim Cook, who's the founder of Sam Adams.
Okay.
In my industry, that's a very good book in regards to how he started Sam Adams and going against the two behemoths of Anheuser-Busch and Molson Coors, and just created that company. Right now I'm reading Good to Great by Jim Collins. Pretty good book in regards to the CEOs and leaders of these massive companies. Right now, at least from where I am in the book, it's through the 90s and how they went from, a good company to an absolute great company. And he just kind of analyzes the actual data of their sales and, how, but it's more than just sales. That he analyzes the culture within the company, and whether or not they were able to maintain it after they left as CEO of the company. So that one's a good one. Law of Attraction. I usually read that once a year. So that's a good short read. Magic of Thinking Big is another one that I enjoy reading. And Fizz. Fizz is a really good book about guerrilla marketing. Fizz. So Fizz is, again, I knew I'd struggle with the authors, but Fizz, I just finished reading it again. It's a marketing company that was responsible for bringing companies like Pabst Blue Ribbon back from the dead, pretty much, and just some of the strategies they talk about in regards to guerrilla marketing and marketing your company as a whole. That will work.
That's awesome. I know, like we spoke about, we like reading books that can educate us, that can learn us and help us, add tools to our toolbox. So I definitely love that. I know, and reading those type of books, as a business owner, I'm always trying to learn how to be better. And my take from reading all the books that I've read about just being a business owner is focusing on your customer, having customer ecstasy. I know Jeff Bezos talks about that a lot. Just being intrigued with your customer. How can you please your customer? Put yourself in their shoes and, just giving the best product to help people. 'Cause that's what it's all about. Like Una Vida, one life, and just celebrate responsibly. And one book that I'm reading right now is Mastery by Robert Greene. I really love Robert Greene. Is one of my favorite authors. I love all the books that he writes, but Mastery is a book, so you guys go check that out. So I definitely like the books that you recommended. I hope y'all listen and tap in, and y'all go check that out. And my last question: what are your thoughts on sports betting now being legal in Kansas? I don't know about Missouri, but what about Kansas?
Let's go.
Yes.
I'm not a huge sports bettor. I enjoy it more if I know I'm going to the game. I went to K-State, so it's more fun. Like, hey, I'm going to the game. I'm gonna throw some money on the game. And find ways to just have fun with that. It is not legal in Missouri. It's legal in Illinois. And so, it's good. I think it'll be good for Kansas and the economy. I'm excited for it. I'm excited. I believe we're supposed to be getting a bar stool.
I seen that.
Or whatever at the casino, Barstool room or DraftKings room or some sort. So I'll definitely have to go check that. I'm not much of a gambler to begin with, but
me neither.
It'll be fun to go check it out.
I think I just seen a picture of the Kansas Star Casino. They posted a picture of the lobby. It was a fan duel, but it was decked out couches, TVs for all the games.
It'd be fun to go at least do a game or so there. And again, I'm not a huge gambler. Every time I've gone to the casino in Vegas, I get up and then I end up losing. I don't know when to stop. But I also go in knowing, hey, I'm willing to lose this much. So I don't go very often. But I think it'll be good for Kansas, so I'm excited for it.
That's awesome. So the interview, can you let listeners know where they can find you online and find you and support your business as well? And then if you have any shout outs to end the interview, then we'll wrap it up.
Well, obviously, thank you to you for having us on.
No problem.
Thank you to Groover Labs. Then for us, my personal is just Bryce Lob. And then Una Vida is just Una Vida Tequila.
Yes, sir.
That's on all social media platforms. And then El Trago is El Trago 1873. And then you can find pretty much all of it's in my bio, too, if you look for it there.
Yes, sir. All right, guys, that wraps it up here. Season 1, Episode 8. Bryce Lob. Thank you, guys.